We welcome you to the SEC on CBS from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Today, the Home Depot SEC features the Gators of Florida 4-1 and the unbeaten Tigers of LSU. LSU first on the field. Here come the Gators. Their head coach is Will Muschamp. He served 4 years on the staff here at LSU under Nick Saban. And good afternoon, everybody. Vern Lundquist along with Gary Danielson. Welcome to this noisy place that we love coming to. Well, this is the 41st annual meeting between these two, and there's almost always something big at stake. Fifth time now in the last 17 years, one or the other is ranked number one. That's the case today, Gary, and LSU is whole again. They've got Jordan Jefferson back in uniform and Jarrett Lee.
You're right, Vern. You know, Les Miles is going to attempt a tricky thing here. Things are going really good, and now he's going to add a quarterback to the mixture. Now, he could do it. He's done a national championship once before by playing two quarterbacks. Jarrett Lee has answered the bell. He's earned the starting job, but Jordan Jefferson was projected to be the starter. They both will play. Everybody in the program believes they can manage it. As long as everything keeps going well, they will. But they are going well because they got some guys on the back end. Tyrann Mathieu may be the most exciting player in college football. He is scoring points in so many different ways, whether by interception, fumble recoveries. But you know, on this team, Vern, he might be the second best cover guy in the defense because Morris Claiborne, a lot of coaches are telling me, is the best cover guy in this league. Such power on the defense.
The Gators got hammered at home last Saturday night. Many of you saw that. Alabama winning 38-10, and in the process, they lost their starting quarterback late first half. John Brantley went down with what has been diagnosed as a serious ankle sprain in the fourth quarter. This was Jeff Driscoll, the backup. He, too, suffered an ankle sprain. So who's going to play quarterback for Florida? For more, here's Tracy.
Coach, no Brantley, no Driscoll. Who will start at quarterback today?
Jacoby Brissett will be our starting quarterback. Looking forward to watching him play. He'll play outstanding.
You also have Tyler Murphy, you have Jordan Reed, you have Trey Burton who can play quarterback. How much will they be involved?
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
You also have Tyler Murphy, Jordan Reed, and Trey Burton who can also play quarterback. How much will they be involved?
We will give them some different looks in the game. We got a good plan.
Jacoby Brissett, it's his first career snap. How did you prepare him for this experience in this environment?
He's going to be fine. He's a cool customer. He's a very talented young man.
Thanks a lot.
And our thanks to Will Muschamp for taking the time to chat with Trocy. Well, interesting now, Jacoby Brissett. Actually, Gary was the third-ranked freshman quarterback last year.
Yeah, you know what I think is important here is Jacoby Brissett took on this challenge at Florida knowing that Jeff Driscoll, the #1 quarterback in the country, had signed. This guy is not going to back down from anything. He's got a tough one here, let's be honest. We might also see Tyler Murphy in there, but I assume we will see a lot of help for Jacoby Brissett in this football game from the other guys. Jordan Reed has played quarterback. Trey Burton has played quarterback. We might even see another guy, Chris Rainey. They all will play a little bit of wildcat to give some different looks to this LSU defense.
Well, I think you could see from the conversation Tracy had with Will Muschamp, it's a little breezy here. Listed as 14 miles per hour, the wind out of the east. Beautiful afternoon, however, despite the breeze, 84 degrees. James Hairston will kick off. This is his third game in succession. He's been the only one to plant it into the end zone. He's had 4 touchbacks in the last 2 games. Andre DeBose and Mike Gillisley are the deep men. And this one will go 5 yards deep and will be brought out by Andre DeBose. And he does not get back to the 20-yard line. Well, what a moment. Number 17, Jacoby Brissett, in Death Valley. His first start as the Florida quarterback. This will be the first snap he's taken.
And it's the first time in Florida history that a quarterback's first snap as a true freshman was in a starting role.
Draw play. Chris Rainey goes left, picks up perhaps 4 out near the 21. And let's set the Florida offense presented by Chick-fil-A.
Michael Brucker.
Up front, Nixon, Winger, Harrison, Jalapeno, and Chaz Green. And they are joined by Hammond, Rainey, Demps. Demps is starting. Jordan Reed. Demps with an ankle injury. But he's 85 to 90%, as coach said, and on the left side movement.
That's how they started out the Alabama game. Remember, first play of the game?
Yes. Matt Austin is the referee today.
Yeah, it was the tight end of the top left of your screen right there, Jordan Reed. Vern, I watched Demps very closely in warm-ups. I don't think he's 90%. I think that's really generous. He was not accelerating at all in warm-ups. He might have been saving himself, but he didn't look it to me.
Demps injured on a kickoff return last week. It's Rainey and Hunter Joyer in the backfield. The sweep to the right. Hunter Joyer gets a block, but great pursuit. Led by Kevin Minter, number 46, defensively. Adams, Brockers, Logan, and Sam Montgomery. Up front, Francois Hatcher and Ryan Baker are the linebackers. And the secondary, Claiborne Taylor, Eric Reed, and Tyrann Mathieu.
I'll tell you, this is, I think, where Florida needs to be very careful. You don't want Brissett throwing early in the nickel situation here. Very conservative, I would predict.
3rd and 11, opening series. Screen pass.
Conservative.
Yeah, Rainey nailed at the 10. Tyrann Mathieu, number 7, only a sophomore.
Tyrann Mathieu was in a zone set here. Everybody was looking at the quarterback. They kind of felt what we felt up here, that Florida would rather punt the ball early than have an early turnover.
David Lerner is on to punt. He usually punts it rugby style. And Tyrann Mathieu,
Yes,
LSU with good field position.
Yes, he is. Great field position.
No rugby punt this time. Mathieu comes up. It'll bounce, and he takes it on one hop. Nice downfield coverage. But LSU will open up on offense in Florida territory. That's a 42-yard punt, and nothing on the return. Well, Jarrett Lee, if you like stories of redemption, his is a pretty good one. Redshirt freshman, 16 interceptions, 7 returned for touchdowns. He hung in there, played a backup to Jordan Jefferson, and in this, his redshirt senior year, the young man from Brenham, Texas, is having a really wonderful experience. Stampley and Spencer Ware are the deep men. It'll be Ware following Stampley coming left. And the remainder of the LSU offense presented by Chick-fil-A. The men up front will include Falk. Will Blackwell moves to left guard. T-Bob Hebert not starting because of an injury. Will play. Lonergan, Williford moves into the starting lineup at Hurst. Randall Stampley in the backfield with Ware. The Peterson is the tight end. Spencer Ware slightly injured, but should be good to go. 2nd down. That's the freshman wide receiver in motion. Here's Jarrett Lee. Back, goes deep. Got a man open. Wide open. Beautiful catch. Touchdown, Ruben Randall. Randall from Lee, the extra point coming. Drew Alemont. I checked the pronunciation. The extra point is up and it's good. Well, well, well.
Vern, there's an old saying as a quarterback, when your receiver is even, he's got him beaten. And in this one, when Jarrett Lee threw the football, the receiver was even, and he runs right by him. When Cody Riggs tries to turn, he's beaten. That ball was perfectly thrown. And Muschamp wanted to start on defense. 3 and out, he got on defense, but gave up a big one.
LG, as a proud NCAA corporate partner, presents great SEC rivalries.
It's all about tailgating, flag waving, drinks shaking, face painting, hell raising, silver. And that one is touchdown!
Goes up the middle, wide open, touchdown!
SEC rivalry, and it's bet, baby. Yeah! Go Tigers! Come on, baby!
No, the guys from Gainesville don't want that helmet to be that passive, I don't think. Well, how about that?
Yeah, all week the Florida defense was just pushed and pushed to stop the run. They stop it on first down, and then you give up a big play. I mean, you know, the dam always breaks at the weakest spot, and that time the weakest spot was in the secondary.
Hairston will kick off again. Andre DeBose is back. Twice last year he returned kickoffs for touchdowns. Not so much this year. Gillislee is the short man now. He's at the 7-yard line. Well, a quick strike by the Tigers of LSU, 7-0.
And again, no Demps. One of the things that Florida needs is big plays, and Rainey and Demps were the guys that give them to him before. Without Demps and your 2 starting quarterbacks, it's going to be a challenge here today.
This one again. Whoa. Gillislee said, let's not try that again. So Mike Gillislee as a traffic cop, and it'll come out to the 20, and we'll see Jacoby Brissett. As we mentioned, those who get paid to do such things ranked him as the number 3 quarterback, Jeff Driscoll being number 1 last year. And what do you see here?
Out of Dwyer High School, he was a big recruit for the University of Miami. They wanted him very badly. Charlie Weiss, as soon as he got the job here, looked at tape and went after him. He recruited him hard, even though Jeff Driscoll was there. And now we're going to see our next quarterback.
Trey Burton, the multi-talented offensive player, and he hands it off to the right side. And Jeff Demps with the carry. Michael Brockers with the tackle, number 90.
Well, you know, no matter who plays quarterback, that offensive line has got to start blocking somebody. You know, they right there, Brockers went right through a weak block. Somebody up front now has to kind of help the young quarterback. I think it's Jeff Driscoll right there in the background.
It was. Driscoll reportedly didn't work out this week. He certainly didn't warm up before this game. Here's Demps going left. Gets to the 20. Jeff Driscoll, the number 1 recruit among those in high school ball last year, with an ankle injury in the 4th quarter. He'd gotten off to a tough start. As Charlie Weiss told us last night, hey, we had plan A for that game against Alabama. We had not spent a lot of time on plan B.
Right, well, right now they're running plan 2010 Urban Meyer offense.
Yep. It's Burton in the spread. Left side, Rainey bounces to the outside, and he cannot go anywhere. Eric Reed, number 1.
I really believe that without Demps and Rainey in there, the defenses, and Alabama did it last week, ganged up on Rainey. Now, Rainey and Demps are really fast, but they're going against the fastest defense in college football. All of these guys, Claiborne, Matthew, Reed, and Taylor, all 4 of the defenders, Vern, started off their career as cornerbacks for LSU.
David Lerner on to punt. This a little bit more of a rugby kick, and it takes a hop in front of Tyrann Mathieu, then goes back toward the Florida end of the field. But again, terrific field position. 33-yard punt, nothing on the return for David Lerner and the Gators. Early quick start for the Tigers. They're number 1 in the country. NFL on CBS, a doubleheader tomorrow. League game early, Tennessee at Pittsburgh. The league game late. the Jets at New England. That's where you'll find Jim Nantz and Phil Simms. Tomorrow, it begins with the NFL Today, 12 noon Eastern, presented by Southwest Airlines. The NFL on CBS. Second possession now for Jarrett Lee and the Tigers. Spencer Ware weaves his way and then bulls his way. A little combination of finesse and power from number 11. And a gain of 11.
Vern, I think just as demoralizing as that long touchdown pass, for the Gator coaching staff, this is just as demoralizing. Running the ball between the tackles and picking up a first down on first down like that. They knew they had to stop the running game to have any chance, and so far they gotten pushed off the ball.
Gain of 11, another LSU first down. Tight end set up tight to the right. That's Clement, who starts in motion, then goes back, run blitz. They toss it to Ware. He weaves his way again and breaks a tackle again. Matt Elam with the stop. Beasley, Howard, and Sharif Lloyd up front for the Gators. The linebackers, Powell, Jelani Jenkins, Jonathan Bostic, and McCray. And the secondary, Roberson, Elam, Saunders, and Cody Riggs. Elam made that last tackle.
Yeah, and he's going to be in the box all day today trying to make those plays. Florida's conceding the first down here, playing deep, looking for a long pass.
Athletics.
Beasley and Howard came across. Were they drawn across?
You know, Vern, I think Gator fans, as we wait for the call here, looks like it's on Florida.
Defense number 2. 5-yard penalty results in the first down.
If they got to try to hang their hat on something, in 2003, the year LSU won their national championship, Florida came in here with a freshman quarterback, Chris Leak. Early in that game, about the 3-minute mark of the first quarter, you were doing the game, an 80-yard punt return to stun them. That was the last score of the game for LSU.
Are you suggesting?
No, I'm just saying if I'm a Gator, that's what I'm tweeting to my Gator friends right now.
Oh, you have gone to the dark side.
No, I know it's there. Here it is.
And this is what we're talking about. Chris Leak making his third career start. Sacked 6 times, but he was 18 of 30 for 229. And the Gators knocked off LSU 19-7.
Defensive coordinator for that team, LSU, was Will Muschamp.
That's right. Came here in 01 and served here with Saban till 04. Alfred Blue, number 4, is at the tailback spot now. Lee will throw it. Got a man open again. Diving try. Incomplete. Nice job getting inside by James White, number 82.
Yeah, good coverage by White that time. I'll tell you, at the end of that play, James White, I think it was a worthwhile throw. Good coverage this time by Cody Riggs, but no safety in the middle. Safe throw. Throw for a touchdown. Nobody there. Either your guy gets it or nobody gets it.
Incomplete. Leaves it third down. 8:08 to go. There's James White. And Jarrett Lee, redshirt senior, Brenham, Texas. Alfred Blue stays in the backfield. That's Chase Clement, number 88. Here's Blue up the middle. Wow. Gouging them.
See, Florida had a run blitz on here, too. This should not work like that. I think it's Cody Riggs is going to be coming. They're going to play an 8-man front. By adding from this side, you're going to see a blitz, so everybody's going to shift over to get the 8 gaps. Come the blitz from the screen, everybody should shift over, and they still gouge them. Another bad sign in run defense. You bring 8-man up, and they still run 3rd and 6 for a first down.
And a gain of 13, a first down just inside the 15. Russell Shepard starts in motion. Left side. Blue knocked out of bounds inside the 5 at the 3 by Dante Pop Saunders.
This LSU offensive line, I think they do less this year, and I mean amount of plays than they've done in the past, but to me they look more physical in the offensive line. Chris Falk is the guy they like to run after and behind, number 76, and he did it again last time.
As well as James Stampley, number 35, the fullback, a one-time walk-off.
That's for sure.
And he led the way then. Here's the toss. They go right. Stampley's in there to help. Spencer Ware fights for yardage. Stampley, quite a story. He was a walk-on, ultimately elected captain of this team for the Oregon game, the big win that started the season.
Yeah, and if you watch that game, all of the Oregon players would second that nod because they got blocked by him the whole game.
Red Zone stats presented by Verizon. 19 touchdowns in 23 possessions. And add to the list. Almost untouched, Spencer Ware. A 2-yard run. His 4th touchdown on the ground this season. And the LSU lead is now 13-zip.
Pick out any offensive lineman you want. They all got their block on this one. Up front, Josh Williford, who's starting their 3rd guard, got a clean out block. They ran right at their number 3 guard.
On the ball. The extra point is good. It's been like scissors through paper so far.
Yeah, you're right. Number 74 is substituting for T-Bob Herbert. Watch him get his block. I think he's right here. Watch him just clean up. They run right behind their newest offensive lineman, and he smashes them to the ground.
All LSU here in the first quarter. .640 to go, opening quarter. LSU almost untouched as they went their way into the end zone on the last drive. That one primarily on the ground. They struck first on a 46-yard Jarrett Lee touchdown pass. In the meantime, the Gators 2 3-and-outs. Will Muschamp telling us last night, hey, we're looking at this as a great opportunity. But now they got to translate that desire into something on the field.
What seems obvious to me is you're not going to be able to hide your quarterback and move the ball against this defense.
There's the kick. And this one, they're going to bring it out. It's DeBose. Nice open field tackle. Eric Reed was down there. Monday on CBS, Solving a Case Underwater has the team in over their heads. Don't miss a new episode of Hawaii Five-0 Monday, only CBS. Jacoby Brissett sat out the last series. The true freshman is back on the field now, getting his first start ever. There was never a defined intent, but there was a lot of thought at Florida that they would like to redshirt him this year, but desperate times with Brantley out. That one short, caught by Burton. And again, not much going on. Ryan Baker, number 22.
Yeah, they just eat up space. You know, this is what John Chavis, the defensive coordinator, has rebuilt this defense over a couple of years. He's moved safeties to linebacker. Ryan Baker was a safety. Stephon Francis, number 23, was a safety. They're now linebackers. They moved corners to safeties. I mean, they just got a fast defense.
2nd and 9. They got it out into the flat. Jordan Reed, the tight end, is out of bounds at the 27. So that will lead to a 3rd down. Well, we saw a pretty good defense last week against Alabama. Now we're seeing another pretty good defense. You see their 9th, and 3rd in those 3 elements to the left.
Considering they played 2 of the best offenses in college football in West Virginia and Oregon, their stats really mean something.
As opposed to
the directional schools that some of these teams play.
Hunter Joyer.
Big call here, 3rd and 3. Will they let him throw?
Deontay Thompson starts in motion. Yes, they will after a play action, but he's under some pressure. He gets rid of it, and oh boy, I think Reed might have stepped out. The chain is on the far side of the field.
Yeah, the momentum of the pass kind of drove him out of bounds there. There's not much he could have done. Jacoby Brissett gets past the first rusher here. He keeps it alive. 4th 4th and short. It looks like Florida at least is going to attempt to maybe even draw off LSU.
And Florida has called timeout. 4:57 to go, first quarter. Will Muschamp has decided to go for it. He's got Trey Burton in the offensive backfield, 5 yards back. 4th and 1, aerial coverage of the SEC on CBS Sports, provided by Southwest Airlines.
When you go 3 and out, and give a touchdown up on each offensive possession, desperate times.
Jacoby Brissett is split wide to the right. Quarterback sneak. Now the second surge might have carried him to the first down. He's got a spot with the right foot.
Yeah, and nobody would do this, but the game dictated it. There's just no way you punt that ball again. Now remember, LSU won the toss and deferred. Florida took the ball, so LSU has the wind also in this first quarter. There's the sneak. He pushes through his second effort. So a punt, and you've seen the punts, they've all been very short.
Right.
And great field position for LSU.
That was Jalapeno.
Yeah, the spot was kind of not great. Let's look at this.
All right. I sound like Nick Saban all of a sudden. All right. Got it. So you don't think it was all that big a gamble? Something you just had to do.
It was a gamble.
Okay.
There's no doubt. But I mean, when you're down 14-0, 2 straight 3 and outs, I don't want to give the other team the ball back.
Right.
It could be 21-0.
Now Brissett is under center. Chris Rainey is in the backfield, and Hunter Joyer is there. So we've seen very little of Demps and Rainey in the backfield simultaneously.
Yeah. See, here's the problem for Florida. They do not want to spread out the field against this fast LSU defense. They want to tuck it in and run these kind of isolation plays and bootleg plays, but they don't have the personnel. I mean, Hunter Joyer, I mean, that's a guy who's never run an isolation play in his life until this year, and he's having to do it against one of the great defenses in college football.
No gain for Rainey, second down. Well, officially, they'll give him 1. Left side, he darts that way. Joyer trying to lead the way. Here goes Rainey. Matthew caught up with him, but he did so from an angle behind, 25 yards.
Yeah, there was a late flag too, Vern. I don't know if there was a holding downfield by Frankie Hammond on the play that was called real late. Rainey gets outside wonderfully here, and then the speed. I don't know if they called a holding on Morris Claiborne. I don't know, maybe a late personal foul, I'm not sure, but it is coming back.
Following the play, dead ball, personal foul, 81 offense. A 15-yard penalty will be enforced from the end of the run. The play didn't result in the first down.
So they give him the 25 yards on the run. Then A.C. Leonard, the 4th-team tight end, with a personal foul after it's a dead ball foul.
Yes, but it was the first bit of good news for Florida. They stayed with the running game. See, right there, late, very late and very unnecessary. But the patience so far to keep running from the eye finally sprung Rainey.
Rainey, who until last week had 3 100-yard games, does a fine job. He fumbles the ball. The beanbag out.
Yes, it is.
And who got it?
It's like Florida.
Florida got it. Now, Chris Rainey had 3 100-yard rushing games in succession until last week. And he was shackled last week. 11 carries for 4 yards against Alabama.
It was a great run for Rainey to get 1.5 yards. I mean, they had penetration back there. You saw Rainey, he's 4.25. He got to the outside on skill almost alone on that one.
See, 119, 108, 105, and 4. 2nd and 8. Burton, play action, Brissett goes for the short man, and he slips. and falls down at the 44-yard line. It was Trey Burton, the sophomore out of Venice.
Eric Reed made the tackle.
Eric Reed, number 1, with a stop and another big third down now. 3rd and 6.
44-yard line.
Burton is out. LSU blitz. Brissett goes deep left side. Battle, it's way overthrown. Now let's go to Tim Brando for this Heisman Watch, presented by Nissan.
All right, Vern, not far from where you started out in Dallas at the Cotton Bowl. Landry Jones, 31 of 50, 367, 3 touchdowns today. And tonight, Trent Richardson in Alabama looks to go 6-0 as the Tide host Vanderbilt tonight. And Michigan's Denard Robinson tries to get Michigan to 6-0 with their first road game at Northwestern. Back to you.
All right, thank you, Tim.
Deep safety.
Faked it.
They did. Burton left side, didn't get it. Did not get it.
There's a 4th and 6 play. Snap it directly to Burton, and from the outside, they're a wonderful play. See the yellow line right there? You see how far he has to go? The blue line, obviously, where the ball was snapped, and didn't get it.
Went 4 yards.
Got 4, needed 6. Ball goes over. And it's first down 10, LSU. Jared Lee behind, over the back. It almost had Jonathan Bostic in the back, the defender. Let's check in with Tracy Wilson.
Well, thanks, guys. You mentioned Jeff Demps, that left ankle. We were told he was 80 to 90%, but that ankle is taped heavily, and he still can't seem to go on it consistently. He went out earlier in that drive for a play, came off wincing, and has remained on the sideline since. It looks like Florida will not be able to rely on him consistently in this one, guys.
It's about what it looked like in warm-ups, too.
On second down, handoff left side is Spencer Ware.
Spencer Ware, left side.
Running freely into the secondary, Jelani Jenkins. Number 3 made the stop, but it's another 8-yard pickup.
Yesterday, when we visited with Will Muschamp and Dan Quinn, the defensive coordinator for Florida, they both said, obviously, about the same thing, since they're in the same meetings all the time. We were disappointed in our technique on the defensive line. We weren't playing blocks. There's penetration and playing a block.
Third down 2, and Dominic Easley, number 2, made the stop.
See, in this defense, you take on the block first, and then you go make the play. Watch Easley take on the block. Boom. Now go make the play. You don't want to run around blocks in this defense.
Dan Quinn, in his first year as a defensive coordinator, after 10 years in the National Football League, 5 years at each of 2 different locations. Most recently, a couple of years with the Seattle Seahawks.
Jeez, what does Les do? I mean, this is his 4th down house. And Muschamp has gone for 4th down twice. He goes, I'm the guy that goes for 4th down around here.
Well, here's a small irony for the season now. Les Miles, who became the Mad Hatter when he went for it here 5 for 5 in the win over Florida, they've only gone for first down on 4th down once all year long.
And their timeout back.
Tomorrow on CBS, former NFL player Marcus Pollard has never competed against 8 teams at once until now. Don't miss a new Amazing Race tomorrow, only CBS.
And I would have been shocked had Les tried for a 4th down attempt here. They're controlling the game. No need to give Florida any unearned yards here. Punt the ball. You have the best defense. They got a rookie quarterback. Make them earn every point.
And an Australian punter, Brad Wing, played high school ball here, but Australian rules football for 15 years in Melbourne, his hometown. And that one, whoa, dandy. Looks like he's played a little golf, too.
Yeah, it was a tiger bounce on that one, wasn't it?
Flag is down. 39-yard punt if it stands.
First down from the 8-yard line.
Well, if it's against LSU, they have to force them to punt again,
Sure.
right?
Yep.
Illegal formation on the offense. 5 men in the backfield. 5-yard penalty. Replay 4th down.
So we'll march it back toward midfield.
He's penalized 5 yards for illegal formation. Replay for that.
It was an attempted lineup. The lineup is clean. They only have 4 people in the back. But one of the guys up here was too far in the backfield lined up, so that was the call. You have to crowd the ball. They were a little tilted too far back, and that's how they got the 5th man in the backfield.
That seems picky.
Well, yeah. But I was asked to.
I understand.
That's my best chance right there, my best shot.
An explanation is demanded.
Oh, man, here we
Wing's
go.
got it wide open.
Nobody
Brad
rushed.
Wing, he's got a blocker in front. Rainey is back. No good. Touchdown, LSU.
They might bring this back because of celebrating into the end zone.
Wow.
They could bring it back. In Australia, you're allowed to do this, but in college football, this year you're not. Watch him start to celebrate right there. That's going to cost them the touchdown and a 15-yard penalty.
Brand new
During
rule.
the play, unsportsmanlike conduct. 38 of the kicking team taunting. The 15-yard penalty enforced from the spot of the foul.
It's a brand new rule this year. It's the first time we've seen it enforced. And here's the penalty. If the penalty occurs before the play is dead, it's ruled a live ball foul. The penalty enforced from the spot where the player's feet are at the beginning of the act.
Let me say, I'm not totally in favor of this rule, but if you have the rule, that's a penalty. They're going to call that. Okay, that's the way it is. The coaches wanted this rule. Now, officials told me, Vern, this is the first time I've seen it in college football this year on any game.
Right.
That it's supposed to be an egregious call to stop it. Now, last year, that would have been a touchdown, and the 15 yards would have been tacked on the kickoff.
Well, we spent a lot of time before the season talking with officials about the interpretation of the new rule, and the key word, as Gary said, is egregious.
I pronounced that right?
You did.
Oh, wow.
Now
Wow.
define it.
I know. Well,
that was not egregious.
I don't think so
in my
either,
mind.
but if you're going to call it,
right,
I think you got to call that one. That's the rule.
Well, Brad Wing tried to take flight as he spread his wings at the 5. And it cost his teammates 15 yards and a touchdown. We've reached the end of one, and we'll return to Tiger Stadium after this message and a word from your local station. There is Brad Wing, the Australian-born punter for LSU, and another look at the fake punt and the penalty called on him for excessive celebration.
That's the end of it. This was not a called fake punt. Florida did not have a safety making sure the punter kicked it. Brad looked up and saw it and ran.
Let's check in with Tracy for more.
Well, guys, you thought there'd be a lot of frustration on this LSU sideline with the touchdown being taken away, but Brad Wing and the rest of the players down here all smiles. Coach Miles looked at him and said, be smart, and then he looked at the officials and said, great call, guys.
And you know what I think is, when you got a 14-0 lead in the ball at the 20-yard line, you can take one of those.
I agree.
It's a good lesson.
Here's the running back bouncing to the outside, coming to the right side. It's Alfred Blue, and he gets to the 17. Well, that was the only hiccup in what has been an otherwise perfect LSU performance.
Yes, and now you can see the strategy. Will Muschamp is trying to pull out stops here. Fake punt, going in for it on 4th down, using multiple quarterbacks. You know, when you look long term, Florida, even with the loss here today, still controls their own destiny for the SEC championship. They need to also make sure they look big picture. How do they get better in the long run? Number one, Vern, they got to start stopping this run better than they have so far.
On 3rd down, I formation. Hand off to Blue, going in.
Like that. That's what they need.
And so the penalty on the punt run negated by the penalty, and it's now 4th and 4.
Well, it's going to save at least 4 points if they go for the field goal here.
Yep.
If a miss, it could save 7. That's where it has to stop. Until, for Florida to win, they've got to become more stout against the run and then turn it over to that secondary to start make the plays, because that LSU does not have enough players on the field.
Brad Wing is the holder. Chase Clement is a late add to the offensive or the field goal formation huddle.
Gonna have to burn a timeout.
Yes, they did. And so the Tigers of LSU have used one. 13:27 to go, first half.
I get a good feeling, yeah.
Down there, and it is caught. Touchdown!
The SAC on CBS. Vern Lundquist, Gary Danielson, Tracy Wolfson with you from Tiger Stadium on 4th down. A 35-yard field goal attempt by Drew Allemont, and it is good. He's now 7 for 9 for the year. And so they do get 3 instead of the 7 after the excessive celebration penalty enforced on the punt return. CBS Sports coverage will continue after this word from your local station. Tyrann Mathieu, the sophomore cornerback, has had a brilliant season through the first 5 games. Kind of quiet today, but nevertheless, he's the focus of Sonic celebrating creativity in the SEC. For more, here's Tracy.
Vern, today we celebrate LSU cornerback Tyrann Mathieu. On and off the field, you can't miss the sophomore from New Orleans. He sports the platinum blonde hair. It's kind of a honey color and appropriate because the 5'8" star's nickname is the Honey Badger, a small, nasty animal that always seems to get what he wants. That's how Mathieu is on the field.
He is an amazing player. He makes so many great plays, and he takes football to a different level.
Mathieu says he doesn't really like the nickname, but that's too bad because it's become a campus craze. Just take a look at the t-shirt. Honey Badger takes what he wants, Vern.
You know, Tracy, I've got it handed to you. Every time we come here, you come up with a brand new t-shirt.
That's right.
Yeah.
Where's the grass? Grass, remember that?
Yeah, Tracy's the one who first noticed. She notified all of us and said, I swear to you guys, Les Miles is on the sideline eating grass. And indeed he was.
That became a legend and a story on its own, didn't it?
Yeah.
Afterwards.
Tyrann Mathieu, what a season. 5'9", 180 pounds maybe. Really recruited only among the major schools by LSU. He went to camps in Tennessee and Alabama. They did not offer. The Honey Badger. Here's the kick. And this one into the wind. Picked up by Gillisley. He's got a block. Gets around the corner and motors it out across the 35 to the 38-yard line. Well, Tyrann Mathieu started against Oregon. I mean, we thought he played well last year, but...
Yes, you're right. We saw him break out last year when he was out there playing with Patrick Peterson, the guys as a true freshman. But his ball awareness, that's what really sticks out to me. Yes, good coverage ability, but he knows where he's at in space. He's aware of the football, and you know, those type of guys, the football seems to find them one way or another.
Chris Rainey is in the backfield at the Wildcat spot now. Tucks it, comes near side. Look at the pursuit. They missed him. Rainey, world-class speed. Tackled by an ankle. There's a flag down as well.
I think Jacoby Brissett is going to get called for a block in the back. The quarterback was split to the wide side of the field in the Wildcat, and I think he got a block. That was called.
Let's see if that wipes out the 21-yard run.
It was on Harold Simon, I believe, number 24. He tried to beat him
Block
to the spot.
Back. 56 offense. 10-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
That's Dan Wenger, who's a 6th-year senior. He played at Notre Dame for Charlie Weiss and had to sit out with concussion, so was able to transfer under NCAA rules and get one more year.
I know Dan Wenger and Jacoby Brissett do not look alike, but I thought the block was right there was going to be the block coming inside. I did not see Wenger's block. See Brissett come in right there? That's why I thought they called it right there.
Shoulda.
56-17. One guy's 300 pounds, the other guy's 185 or 200. Should be unbalanced line here.
Omarius Hines. Here's Rainey coming near side. And it would appear there's a flag down again. Tracy's observation about Jeff Demps seems prescient. He is not on the field and apparently will not be.
Alapia is going to get called on this one, number 67. I'm pretty sure.
Holding. Offense 67. 10-yard penalty. Still first down.
There's Jeff Demps, injured on a kickoff return last Saturday night. And really hampered in his modest efforts at running the ball in that game.
Yeah, it really affects this Florida offense. They do not have a lot of tailbacks because of the type of offense they ran. That's where he hurt it right there on a kickoff. Got it twisted underneath him, and he was never much of a factor in that game. Actually, he was zero factor in that game after that.
First down, 27. Brissett, draw play, nothing. Down to the 20. Let's go back to the studio for a John Hancock update. Here's Tim.
All right, Vern. Well, Wake Forest does end Florida State today. Tanner Price for what would be the game winner to Terrence Davis here. They forced 5 turnovers today, improved to 3-0 in ACC play. For the first time ever, Florida State, a preseason top 5, Vern, has now lost 3 in a row.
Well, and now Florida State takes the mantle of most disappointing team of the season.
Indeed. Jimbo Fisher, who also, of course, was on Nick Saban's staff, the head coach at Florida State. He was here with Will Muschamp.
It's first down again because there was a penalty on LSU.
All right, first and 22. Brissett heaves it deep, double coverage, maybe triple, intercepted. Picked off at the 25-yard line by Brandon Taylor, number 18.
Trying to go up the seam to Jordan Reed, I believe. He was in the slot. I think this is Reed right here. He's trying to go deep, but look how deep this safety is. Once Jacoby took his eyes off the middle of the field, he never really seen it. Jordan Reed stopped on the play, if you can see it, and LSU did not.
Brandon Taylor wearing number 18 this year. That's a tradition here at LSU. Brandon Taylor with the second interception of the year. Brandon Taylor wearing number 18. It's one of the newer traditions here at LSU. In 03, Matt Mock wore that number, overcame some injuries, led the team to the national championship. He passed 18 on to Jacob Hester. He, in turn, passed it on to Richard Dixon. It was worn last year by Richard Murphy, who's now with the Jacksonville Jaguars. It's Mock and the trainers and a couple of people who've worn 18 who decide each year who should be honored by wearing 18, and Brandon Taylor was the selection in 2011. Mock, by the way, is now the team dentist.
Offside.
The Denver Broncos.
Defense 99. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
In the National Football League.
That type of job has a lot of longevity.
It does.
Yes,
yeah.
a long time. It's not like they bring in a new dentist for tryouts, you know, like other positions.
There's no dental audition.
Right, no. You get it, you keep it.
And there's always a need for root canal. You think, you know? Michael Ford is on the field now for the first time, number 42. Got it? You know, you think about Jarrett Lee and where he is, Gary. Now, go back to Matt Mock. They won the national title. He replaced a quarterback then, got a chance to start. And then in 07, it was Matt Flynn.
Yes.
Who got the chance. There's a similarity, don't you think?
Yeah, there's about 6 degrees of separation with all these quarterbacks and these stories here with LSU. Remember the Ryan Perrilloux story? He was supposed to take over the team, and that's why Jarrett Lee had to start in 2008 in that year before he was really ready.
Whoops! Spencer Ware, number 11. And Perrilloux was kicked off the team, and that's why Jarrett Lee won the job over Andrew Hatch.
Yeah, with the deep pitch set on this running play, Ware can read that line of scrimmage and just go where he wants to go.
Chris Falk, number 76, leading the way.
And 2008, they all played. Jarrett Lee played, Jordan Jefferson played, Andrew Hatch played. Remember, though, this 2 quarterback situation. We'll get into this as the game goes along because it's dangerous.
Running play left side. Spencer Ware down to the 30-yard line. Oops.
Left side.
Jarvis Landry, number 80, getting into a little minor exchange with one of the Gators.
Well, that's 20 plays, and I'm sure, you know, we drop it down occasionally. Right there, there it is. 17 rushes, 3 passes in this football game. Left side of the player, Landry and Riggs kind of jostling there.
Second down.
That wasn't egregious, though.
No. Oh, no, it was not.
Yeah, from the edge, that's the pass protect problem, and that's the type of pass rush that when you watch Florida teams in their national championship runs, they were able to stop the run and then put pressure on the quarterback just like this. They loaded the box with one other guy and just overran that offensive line for LSU.
Jonathan Bostic with the loss of 8, and it's 3rd and 13. Here's Bostic.
Second negative play of the game for LSU, but no big mistake so far.
3rd and 13. They stack 2 receivers. This is Russell Shepard who goes into the slot. Florida rotates to cover him. Jarrett Lee comes near side. Comeback pattern incomplete.
Wow. They were throwing a back shoulder outside to Odell Beckham.
Odell Beckham, a true freshman. Jalen Watkins defending.
He was.
Yeah.
And, you know, we saw against Tennessee a lot of hands on receivers. Let's see on this one. Little contact there. No, that's nothing. Beckham slipped on the play. It was a timing route.
So on 4th and 13, Brad Wing will come on. No flag thrown on Watkins. Chris Rainey.
You know, I wonder when the officials came in and went over with the offensive guys that celebration penalty. I wonder if the punter and the kicker were in on that meeting.
Interesting. Here's Wing. Sends it toward the left corner. Oh, it's down at the 1. Wow. Ron Brooks, the backup cornerback.
And that's that new technique in punting that the punters have adapted now to. They kick those balls when they want to get them inside the 20, end over end. See how they kick it end over end? Easier to handle.
Ron Brooks downs it. Brad Wing appreciates it. Time has been called.
Tim Brando in New York. Coming up on the Geico Halftime Report, Spencer Archie and I will get you caught up on all of the action, including South Carolina takes sole possession of first in the SEC East with Connor Shaw going 26 of 39 for 311. They beat Kentucky. Now back to Florida LSU.
All right, Connor Shaw getting the start at quarterback in place of Steven Garcia for Spurrier. Now it's time to take a look at our Home Depot tools for success. Garrett?
Well, when you're going up against a second or third string quarterback, the first thing you have to do is not give him any daylight, and that means stopping the run and the short pass. That's what John Chavis' defense has done in this football game. So far, 18 plays for Florida for 48 yards. They go deep once and get it picked off.
And now they start from their own 2-yard line with a true freshman quarterback making his first start, Jacoby Brissett. I formation. Hunter Joyer and Trey Burton motion in the line. Anthony Johnson came across. Let's see if he was drawn across by a Florida lineman.
Offside. Defense 56. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
That's another freshman, Anthony Johnson. Man of enormous potential out of New Orleans. But that one was costly.
Yeah, John Chavis says he's a young Sean Ellis. He's about 270 now. He's going to be about 285 by the time he's done. And point of attack, plays the run. Just a tremendous football player, highly recruited football player.
Out of the gun on first down, 5. That's Brissett. Well, John Brantley, the starting quarterback, injured toward the end of the first half last Saturday night. Will Muschamp telling us yesterday he will be back. It's an ankle injury. John Brantley made the trip. He will not be back next week. Muschamp didn't think. They're open the week after that. So we might see him at the Georgia-Florida game. He's upstairs in the coach's booth.
Yeah, and he was having a nice game, Vern. Had 190 yards passing in that first half against Alabama. He was doing everything they were asking him to do.
Up the middle on second down, nothing doing. That was Trey Burton. Just to continue the Brantley story, of course, his dad, John, played at Florida in the late 70s as the head coach at Trinity Catholic in Ocala, and has a real good relationship with Muschamp. And Will was telling us last night that he chatted with John Brantley Sr. on Thursday and said, "You tell me, how's your son doing?" And John Brantley said he's doing just fine. Just fine.
After you run the spread option for 1 year, anything seems better than that if you're a passing quarterback.
On third down. Brissett got a man open, throws it behind him, incomplete. You sound like a man who in college might have suddenly become a wishbone.
I tried that. Jacoby went to the right spot. He and Reed were not in sync. It seemed like Reed overran the hole, or Jacoby was late with the ball because the hole was there. They just weren't there at the same time, the receiver and the quarterback.
Now here's Lerner. Length is not his strength, and he kicks this one low. It does get a high hop. Ruben Randall is back, and he avoids the initial tackle, and then pretty good pursuit by the Gators. They make the stop. So Tyrann Mathieu did not return that punt. It was Randall.
He was almost the one that blocked it. He was the one that they put in there to come off the edge.
That's the Chris Rainey roll for Florida.
Yes.
Well, let's cue the duck. Time to get the Aflac duck on here. Here's the Aflac trivia question. Who is the only Florida quarterback to start a game as a freshman and go on to win the Heisman Trophy? Now, not that many guys who are candidates, are they? And Jordan Jefferson is in the lineup for the first time. He came in having been reinstated to the team last week and ran 4 times in the ball game. He'll throw it on first down. Russell Shepard. Out of bounds, first and goal. He's at the 8.
Well, how about that? There were a lot of challenges for this coaching staff and Les Miles this offseason, but they bring in 2 of them with Jordan Jefferson and Russell Shepard, and they hook up. 2 talented football players. Russell Shepard has never quite lived up to his billing as a breakout player. But on that one, they got the ball in his hands, and he showed why he was maybe the most highly recruited player in the country in 2009 as a quarterback.
Russell Shepard He had to sit out the first 3 games this year because of a violation of the NCAA rule. Here's Ware. Touchdown, LSU. P.J. Lonergan, the center, is down at the 10-yard line.
Just follow. I think it's 44. It might be 35. Is it 44 at fullback this time? J.C. Copeland and Ware just powers it. Power running game for these tailbacks. They're not the game breakers. They're the first down makers at tailback. And there's Lonergan down. Probably the key guy in this offensive line, right, Vern?
Yes, he is. Got his start a year ago when T-Bob Hebert, the starting center, went down with a knee injury, and Lonergan has started every game since then.
See what happened if we can find anything. Obviously right in the middle right there. Takes it on. Now he gets bent back with his, and then his own player is right directly behind him at the same time.
Looks like he might have gotten into a tangle, I beg your pardon,
yes,
with Will Blackwell. Lonergan, last year, 863 snaps as a center. He missed all but 13 snaps for the season. Well, we'll check his injury. LSU pads its lead. They're up by 23. Starting center P.J. Lonergan on the sidelines. LSU getting a little medical attention, injured on the touchdown run by Spencer Ware. And now the extra point coming. Drew Alamont. Brad Wing will hold. Joey Capel is the center. And it is up and through.
Alamont's kick. Good.
Here's the touchdown from Spencer Ware. Set up on a pass from Jordan Jefferson to Russell Shepard.
45 yards.
Back at Tiger Stadium, Death Valley, Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Tough summer for Les Miles and these Tigers. And one of the key stories for the year, Jordan Jefferson arrested along with a teammate in mid-August for a fight outside a bar around about curfew. Initially, Jefferson was charged with a felony. And a couple of weeks ago, that felony charge reduced to a misdemeanor by a grand jury. He was indicted on the misdemeanor, but once there was no felony charge involved, he was reinstated to the team, and he appeared last week as a quarterback. And Les Miles has made quite clear that Jarrett Lee is the starter. He's earned the spot, but that Jordan Jefferson will play. And Gary, I think you see possible problems.
Well, it's never easy with that position. But I think Les is handling this exactly the way I would if I was him. He's part of this team, and his teammates want him to be part of this team. You just can't throw a guy overboard. And I think his team will really rally behind Les for that. But it has pitfalls.
Very short kick, fair catch.
How about that?
Whoa, and then he runs with it. Whoa.
That was good.
Whoa.
That's all right. They'll just bring it back.
Leon Orr, number 44. Oh.
By the way, Leon Orr, number 44, is a redshirt freshman. If he looks big, he is big. 6'5", 310. Defensive tackle.
I think he saw a moment of possible glory.
Nice hands, though.
Yeah,
you know?
Absolutely. Oh, goodness.
Well, you know, if there was a formula in this game for LSU to kind of give it away in Florida to win, so far LSU is not doing it.
Gillisley up the middle, cuts it back toward the center of the field.
Somebody asked me, Vern, how can Florida win the game?
Right.
And I said, well, there's probably ABC here. You know, A, stop the run. B, you got to have some help from LSU. You know, they got to turn the ball over. When they lost to Florida in 2003, they had 3 turnovers. Last year against Tennessee, when they almost blew that game, they had 4 turnovers. So far, none of those. You know, maybe you might need all of the above, but, you know, it also could be none of the above. It just could be that this LSU team is so good, and with the offensive players at quarterback for Florida, there might not be a way, no matter what happened, that they can win this football game.
Well, on that last play, that was Trey Burton at the quarterback spot, the old spread, and he handed off to Gillislee. They did get a first down. And I see Big Matt Patchen, number 71, who is on the field. One-time starter. There you see him at left tackle with Jordan Reed next to him. Patchen has battled injuries throughout his career, but getting some playing time here. The inside pivot, my goodness. Oh, that's out of the old playbook. Chris Rainey, number 1.
Trying to manufacture yards. Not exactly what they ran all spring practice, as they were trying to convert to more of a pro style. But in 1 week here, Charlie Weiss has had to kind of dig into his playbook. Told us last night, I can't just give up a game and think long term. I've got to figure out a way to give us the best chance to win this game.
Second down 4. Burton hands it off. And there's a big hole for Gillislee, who earlier this season
Ran the ball.
had a touchdown run of 60 yards. That's a career long. Let's go down to Trace.
Well, guys, LSU trainer Jack Marucci telling me P.J. Lonergan has a left ankle sprain. They're taping it up right now. They're going to try and walk it off. I'm sorry, it's his right ankle sprain. T-Bob Herbert, though, warming up, taking over at center if he can't go, guys.
All right. T-Bob Hebert, whose dad Bobby was a great quarterback for the New Orleans Saints. Here's Gillislee. Well, all of a sudden.
Yep, running the ball.
Yes. Matt Patchen clearing the way then, number 71.
Still running plays off of the dive option series. They're probably not reading it, but they're blocking that way and probably making the call in the huddle. Maybe running a little bit of the zone read, but not much of the triple option, obviously. 2
wides now, 2 backs, blitz from the corner. They come the opposite way, but Rainey's in jail. Lost 1. Tyrann Mathieu, number 7, a part of that one.
Yeah, you remember when Florida ran that corner cat? It's a run blitz. Here it is again. You bring the outside guy. That creates the 8-man front. Everybody else kind of slants away from the cat, and you should not be able to run to the outside. That was defended really well by this LSU defense.
3rd down 4.
Florida obviously has 2 downs to pick this up.
Motion and a flag as the snap is made. Patchen moved at left tackle. Did he influence the guy across the neutral zone?
Prior to the snap, false start, 67 offense, 5-yard penalty. Repeat 3rd down.
That was Jalapeno and not Patchen.
Gators equalized 5 yards. False start.
You know, so going back to how could Florida win, Vern, I mean, it basically was LSU had to help.
Right.
And so far, they have not given an inch of help to Florida in this game.
That is the 7th penalty on Florida, and as a result of that absence of help, it's 24-0 with under 3.5 to go. Jacoby Brissett now back in. Corner blitz. He goes out to the open spot. It's Burton down the sidelines with a little high hurdle and out of bounds with the 1st down.
That was a bust by this LSU defense. They were not lined up properly. They came off the edge, but nobody replaced him to the outside, and it was an easy pickup to the outside. Just throwing on 3rd and long here, you throw a pass behind the line of scrimmage, and look at that. LSU's in a zone, and no one's out there. See the athleticism inside by Trey Burton getting over the top. Remember when he was part quarterback, part everything last year for Florida.
Had 6 touchdowns in 1 game against Kentucky in a variety of ways. Here's the handoff on the sweep to the left. That goes to Chris Rainey, and Morris Claiborne, number 17, made the tackle.
Florida is obviously, Brian Taylor's on, isn't he? As John Chavis told us, or I read it somewhere, they kind of blend together once in a while, that this is the deepest secondary he's ever coached in his 33-year history of college coaching. He's got more depth and speed in the secondary than he's ever had. There's John. Longtime Tennessee defensive coordinator. He calls this defense his best defense since his 1998 national championship defense at Tennessee.
That's pretty high praise.
Yeah, well, watching him play, you can pretty much see it.
What's the difference, Gary, as Taylor walks off? Now, we've had one full game, 2 full games with Alabama, 1 half here. What is the essential difference in the two?
So far in this game, it's not quite a fair measurement. I mean, without Brantley out there, Alabama faced a much tougher attack than what LSU is. I got to say, watching them both and watching tape, they're within that margin of error. I mean, and that means in the game, just like the last few games between LSU and Alabama, one mistake here or there could be the difference in the game.
Fumble. Burton tried to put it in the belly of Gillislee and then pull it back out, and Burton with the fumble.
Yeah, and one of the tough things, you know, it sounds like a good idea going 3-4 different quarterbacks, giving them different looks, but it's hard to practice and get all the reps necessary for 3 or 4 guys in all these different types of zone read patterns that Florida's trying to move the ball against LSU.
Brissett steps up, fires it deep, caught, almost dropped, but it's good for a first down at the 21-yard line. Frankie Hammond, number 85. That's a gain of 14.
You can really see the talent of Jacoby Brissett. He has a bright future. He can really throw the ball. I watched every one of his warm-up throws. He's got a live arm. He's big. He's not a scrambler, but he's a pocket passer. Another quarterback in there. Back to Burton, right?
Yep. They have been splitting snaps. Here's Gillislee in jail as he gets to the 20. And just to bring you up to speed in case you joined us late, John Brantley, of course, out with an ankle injury sustained last week against Alabama. Jeff Driscoll, the #1 prospect among high school quarterbacks last year, played in the second half last week, but suffered an injured ankle as well. Did not take a warm-up. And so Brissett, it was pretty obvious an hour before the game, was going to get the call today, and he's alternating with Trey Burton. Here's Burton. Got it. Goes right to the 15. Nice.
See how they close that space. They just really, that's, you know, the type of players that why John Chavis is saying that's the talent we have back there. See a lot of guys that are good tacklers, but they don't close space like these guys do.
Tyrann Mathieu. Final 23 seconds of the first half. It's 3rd down.
Florida has 2 timeouts. So far they haven't used them. Got to call one here, don't they?
I would think so. Yeah, there it is. Well, he called it. They might have taken a couple of seconds.
Yeah, I think they should have burned one before the blast play, to be honest.
(24-0) LSU. Florida might be going for the field goal here. It would appear they are not. They're lining up. The only Florida quarterback to start a game as a freshman, win the Heisman Trophy, Danny Werfel, on 4th down.
They're just trying to draw them off sides.
Yep. Interesting bit of strategic thinking. All right, the only Florida quarterback to start a game as a freshman and go on to win the Heisman Trophy was Danny Werfel, the '96 Heisman Trophy winner, as a redshirt freshman.
I mean, I don't really agree with the strategy, but Florida needs points. Since they led last week 10-3, they've been outscored 59-0 by Alabama and LSU.
Low snap, the hold of Goodwin. Sturgis' kick is up.
Still
got it.
Still got it. Boy, that was a good hold right there, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
Sturgis stayed with it, too.
John Crowfoot was the holder. Known, of course, as one of 5 Crowfoots who've been snappers or holders in the SEC. The holding Crowfoots. field goal good. Caleb Sturgis, who had a streak of 14 in a row, end last week. Here's John Crowfoot. His brother Kyle's also part of this team, and his older brother Ike was at South Carolina. Another brother at Auburn, 2 of them, as a matter of fact. Clint and Clayton. There you go. Chaz, not Clint. Chaz Crowfoot. How about that for a family specialty?
Yeah, that's. You can just. He did a good job on this one. That's all I have to say, because he saved 3 points. Step was inside and tight, turned it around and turned the laces forward. Nice job. I know.
The Holding Crowfoots. Sounds like a country western band here in the South. Or not. Like the King Colquitts of Tennessee. So they get on the board, 24-3.
I don't want to say that snap was way inside, but even Ryan Howard would have swung at that. Swings at everything. We got some Philly guys on our crew.
Oh, yes.
They're not happy.
No. There was mourning at the truck this morning. Chase Clement. Oh, well, if it's Alamont, it's Clement. I should have known that. Why would I think it's Chase Clement? Chase Clement. 24-3 LSU rolling. Before another sellout crowd here at Tiger Stadium in Baton Rouge. Let's go down to Tracy with Will Muschamp.
Thanks, Vern. Coach Brissett, very young, inexperienced. Jeff Demps on the sideline with an ankle. So how do you generate some offense in the second half?
Well, we need to start with our defense. We need to play better. We gave up 2 big plays in the past game. We hadn't played the runs extremely well. We had a mishap on special teams. We had a couple penalties that killed us 1 drive offensively. We just need to play better.
What will you say to Brissett, though, as he takes this field in the second half?
Jacoby's done well. He had a good third down conversion there to Frankie. He's playing well. We got to play better around him.
Could we see Tyler Murphy?
No.
Thanks a lot. Vern?
24-3 the score here. Now let's go back to New York, and here is Tim Brando.
Tough act to follow the Honey Badger there. Thanks, Vern. Coming up on the Geico Halftime Report, Spencer, Archie, and I will have all the action. We'll tell you about 2 teams that are off to their best starts in over 40 and 60 years after this word from your local station.
Just one is never enough. And what a terrific defensive series for LSU. That beautiful catch. Ware is in the end zone for the score. Ware, touchdown LSU.
Halftime in Tiger Stadium, Death Valley, Baton Rouge, Louisiana. And the #1 team in the country leading 24-3. Moments ago, Tracy Wolfson with Les Miles.
Coach, you go into the second half up 24-3. What were you most pleased with in that first half?
I like to start. And certainly the intensity of the start of the game was very strong. Defensively, we were attacking. They had a very difficult time moving the ball. Special teams played big. And offensively did the things they needed to do.
We saw Jefferson just a bit in that first half. Will we see him more in the second?
I don't know. It's a piece of the game plan certainly is there for him. You know, we kind of like the calls that we got right now.
Great. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Vern?
All right, Tracy. 24-3, and the Tigers will return the opening kickoff of the second half. Morris Claiborne, who has returned 199 yards already this season, is ready to receive this one. There he is. As if they didn't have enough weapons.
All right, that big kickoff return he had against West Virginia might have been the play of the year so far for LSU when West Virginia was coming back in that game.
Will Muschamp's team hobbled by the absence of John Brantley. Jeff Driscoll not able to go. So they've almost matched snaps with Trey Burton in the shotgun and Jacoby Brissett, the true freshman quarterback. I guess we're battling some wind problems here. Caleb Sturgis will kick off. Yep. Strong winds, 14 miles an hour to start. And they certainly haven't diminished. And so, quarter number 3. Florida trailing by 21. Sturgis to kick off. Claiborne, the deep man. Moves over to his left, grabs it. At the 5. And so we begin with LSU on offense. Jarrett Lee, who's thrown for a touchdown. Les just said maybe Jordan Jefferson, maybe not. Doesn't seem to matter.
No, you know, I think for LSU, the challenges here is there going to be any intensity in the second half. I mean, I can feel it up here. I mean, there's no intensity in this booth, I'll tell you right now. I mean, if you're going...
Are you blaming me?
No, it's me. I mean, can LSU find the need to play hard here? Because, you know, Florida got a tongue lashing in the locker room. And can they get out here and continue to play hard? That'll be the key.
And off on the left side, and Spencer Ware out to the 25.
Let me follow up with Will Muschamp at the end of the half with Tracy. I 100% agree with Will. We need to stop talking about and worrying about our quarterback. We're getting the ball rammed right down our throats. Let's start playing some defense. We're making mistakes all over the field. We have way more things to worry about instead of just quarterback. If they want to get to the SEC championship and they still control their own destiny,
indeed,
they have to play better at the other 21 positions also.
Ware closing in on 75 yards on the ground in this game. Halftime trends, Gary. Jacoby Brissett with his first career start. Nice average, but...
Well, they managed him so much that it really was no effect on the football game. They didn't want him to have the big turnovers he had won. I mean, that's the story of the game right there. Florida, if they had any chance, they needed to stop the LSU run game. They were not able to do it. Spencer Ware has been able to run the ball between the tackles.
Third down 3. 3 wides to the right side. Jarrett Lee, first down. That's Ruben Randall. Number 2.
Well, we were here his fateful year as a true freshman when he had to play before he was ready because Ryan Perrilloux was dismissed from the football team. He's always been able to throw a pretty football. When we met with him yesterday, kept asking him, Jarrett, why did you stay? Why did you stay? And, you know, he said a lot of it had to do with 2008. I had unfinished business to bring to LSU's football team.
There's Ware again. Jarrett Lee took his backup role and performed admirably in that role. He said Les Miles also encouraged him. He thought about transferring.
Yep.
But had a number of conversations with his head coach. And his head coach said, you're going to get another opportunity.
Well, and his dad is a coach. And his dad kind of canvassed some of the people that recruited him. He called Jimbo Fisher, Bo Pelini, and Gary Croton. And they all 3 told him to transfer. I think he was smart not to transfer. You know, and you know, he came in last year. He was, you know, big last year when he came in. Remember against Alabama late in that football game?
Well, he came in at crunch time, 3rd and 13 from the LSU 20, and he found Ruben Randall for a 47-yard pickup. That helped the Tigers seal the win in that big game. And it's 3rd and 1 now. Jarrett Lee's dad, by the way, Steve, has moved on. He was one of his high school coaches at Brenham, and he's now the offensive coordinator at West Texas A&M in Canyon, Texas. Oh, my goodness. Alfred Blue, yes. That's Matt Elam, number 22.
Yep, their best tackling safety, and Elam comes in, makes the play, hits it right on the run. From the secondary left side. I guess this is him. I can't quite see.
That's Roberson. There's Elam.
Oh, Elam comes over in the motion. on the play and kind of hits it in a full run on the play. And that's the intensity again. It looks like Florida, and you can understand it.
Sure.
You know, you go into the halftime here 24-3 in your LSU. There's nothing Les Miles can tell them that's going to convince those players that Florida has a chance. The only thing that's going to convince them is if Florida makes a run at them.
Well, here's Brad Wing. That's a short punt into the wind, and it will be taken by Tyrann Mathieu down at the 23, a 37-yard punt, but nothing on the return. Now, what can the Gators do offensively? We'll find out, at least briefly, when we come back.
Sports and outdoors.
True freshman Jacoby Brissett got the call as a starting quarterback today. And Gary, how's he done?
Well, they've managed him so much. He's got flashes. He's got a strong arm. He's got great potential. This one is a receiver. Jordan Reed kind of gave up on the play. It was, one of those things that happens when you're trying to gobble up yards, and he made a good first down throw there. But I agree with Muschamp 100%. Everybody else has to step up their game too.
Here's Rainey. Out of the direct snap, and a flag thrown.
That ball, I think this play was whistled dead.
Before the snap.
Flag on the play.
Prior to the snap, false start, 56 offense, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
That's Dan Wenger, the left guard.
Yep, there's the look right there.
Yep.
See, I mean, it's part of the game. The sideline reporter is going to ask you about the quarterbacks, okay? But you want to say, are you watching everybody else out here?
Well, that is the 9th penalty on Florida in this ballgame. We saw them against Tennessee when they had 16. One off the school record. Rainey breaks a tackle, gets back to the 25, so it'll be second down and 9. Ryan Baker, number 22, made the tackle. There's Baker, little family conflict. His mom, Lynn, is a graduate of University of Florida.
6 yards.
6 for Rainey on the last play. Now Brissett goes wide to the right. Omarius Hines also that way. Here's Rainey. Nothing. Kevin Minter, number 46. There for the stop. South Carolina big winner today. I mean, huge.
And Connor Shaw had one of those games.
Yeah.
Like they need.
So Florida keeping an eye on South Carolina and Georgia in the East, of course. Here's Brissett, a lot of time. Delivers it, one hopper to Hammond, incomplete.
Had him.
Yes. So 4th down.
I would have to say that's the worst throw of the day for Jacoby. Had him wide open, pitched it real low, about 3 yards short on the play.
Tyrann Mathieu is back to return this one. And David Lerner on to punt, the senior out of Gainesville. Oh, it's over. No, he reached up and grabbed it. It sure was. And Mathieu grabs it. Tackled by the shirt tail at the 43-yard line. Nice play by David Lerner as he jumped up and kept the ball from scooting into the end zone. Here's Lerner.
Yeah, he had to react to that. Look at that. Best catch of the game.
Mathieu, LSU has the ball. The Home Depot SEC on CBS is sponsored by Red Lobster, Nissan, Kellogg's Frosted Flakes, and by Bud Light.
And we'll We'll let you know if you won.
24-3 LSU. They've got the ball. Jordan Jefferson in at quarterback. Aerial coverage of the SEC on CBS Sports, provided by Southwest Airlines.
Visit Outback.com.
LSU has only thrown 6 passes in the game, and Jordan Jefferson has thrown one of them. They practiced a lot of the lead draws, kind of like a Florida offense, almost like a Cam Newton lead draw. Let's see if they go to that offense here.
McCray on the outside to the left.
False start. Offense number 53.
Let's check in with Tracy Wolfson.
Well, guys, you mentioned that Florida needs to step it up defensively. They're going to have to do it, though, right now. Without 2 of their players, Ronald Power out with what looks to be a neck injury, and Josh Evans, a left arm injury. Both remain in the locker room right now, guys.
All right, Trace, thank you. Ron Powell, of course, one of the starting the buck position. He can play standing up or down in the stance. Here's the Jefferson run to the left, and McCray, nice job of cutting through and getting the angle and topping Jordan Jefferson.
Well, you know, if you don't think the 2 quarterback system is going to draw questions.
Okay.
The score was 24-3 at halftime, and what did Tracy ask Les? Are we going to see Jordan Jefferson more in the second? And when you play 2, that's what you're going to deal with. Now, Les has handled this. Remember, they won a national championship playing 2 quarterbacks. If there's a guy that can do it, it might be Les, but it is not easy.
Well, 2007 is the reference point. A flashback here. Matt Flynn, now with the Green Bay Packers. And Ryan Perlew,
who had to play that SEC championship game. Remember that when Matt Flynn was injured?
And Perlew later dismissed from the team.
Second down, 19.
But
the following year, and that gave Jarrett Lee the chance.
The thing is, I remember years back at Michigan, it was Drew Henson and Tom Brady. As much as you try to say all the right things, it has a life of its own. And people want to know and talk and dissect about which guy you got in there all the time.
It's Jefferson now, and he's got a man open. That one is caught by D'Angelo Peterson, his tight end. Nice pass. That's a 21-yard gain.
Let me say this, though, also, Vern. I was out at practice Thursday, and there was an intensity in Jordan Jefferson that I had not ever seen in a practice. And I've watched him for 3 years. Yesterday, he looked like a guy who was in it 100%. He was thankful for another opportunity. He's much improved. But he practiced the way you want your quarterback to practice.
Here's the toss near side.
Yeah, it was actually a keep by him.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yep. Jefferson kept it. And Jelani Jenkins made the tackle. How did that manifest itself? Just in his demeanor?
Yes, and he was ready for every play. He never had to have a coach go look for him. We got a flag on the play. But he was just always prepared for the next play. He just had high intensity in a Thursday practice.
Personal foul, face mask, 14 defense, 15-yard penalty for the end of the run, automatic first down.
And that was another thing that yesterday Will talked to us about, a lack of self-discipline against Alabama. You know, when they had those 2 personal fouls, he goes, you know, it's going to happen. You have to know it. You have to expect it, and you can't overreact to those things.
And they've now reached double digits, they being Florida. That's 10 penalties against the Gators on first down 10. Spencer Ware. Remember, Stephen Ridley was the starter a year ago, and in the Cotton Bowl win, it was Spencer Ware who rushed for 102 yards and kind of announced his presence. Second down, 7. Spencer Ware again. Now let's go back to the studio for this John Hancock update. Here's Tim Brando.
Vern, Gary, Nathan Shieldhouse threw for 3 touchdowns, ran for another. Illinois goes to 6-0 for the first time in 60 years. Here he connects with A.J. Jenkins, 67 yards. The Illini, behind former Florida coach Ron Zook, host Ohio State next week. You know, Urban inherited, Gary, a pretty good football team from Zooker. Never really got much credit for it.
Sure did. Remember that defensive line, Vern, that he got when he came here, when Urban had? They won it with defense that first year, that first national championship.
Here's Ware testing right guard to the 15-yard line. Jonathan Bostic, number 52.
Funny, interesting, Spencer Ware is a power running back, but a high school quarterback. You know, it's hard to find great athletes now in high school football because everybody's running the spread. They found Spencer Ware as a running option. He threw for a lot of yards in high school also, but they projected him as a tailback, and they projected him correctly.
Alfred Blue replaces Spencer Ware. Ware heads to the bench with 85 yards in the game now. Another motion. That's Dominic Easley who came across. Well, let's take a look at what Spencer Ware has accomplished today.
Well, he burst on the scene like you mentioned last year, just as an all-around back. He catches the ball out of the backfield well. He throws the ball well, but his best attribute is he's a power north-south runner. Exactly what Les Miles' kind of background was as an offensive lineman for Michigan and his first assistant coaching job as line coach for the Michigan Wolverines. Looks like they're playing that Bo offense today. 29 runs, 7 passes.
Yeah, and another. That was the penalty on Dominic Easley.
They're going to get a guy yanked out of the game here. Will ain't going to settle for this.
Jay Howard, who just came across.
And Jay's going out of the game.
Yeah.
Offside, defense number 6. 5-yard penalty results in a first down.
12 penalties against Florida.
Just a hard count right next to the center. T-Bob Hebert. They tried to rest Hebert today. I was out at practice. He was really gimpy out there. They did not want to play him, but obviously he's the backup center and he has to go.
Stamper, the fullback, leads the way for Blue. Blue tackled. The contact made at the 7. He gets back to the 5. Dominic Easley with the stop.
On tape, I thought Jay Howard was their best lineman from the first game to the end. A little hurry up here. Hurry up and lose yards.
Yeah, exactly. Well, let's shelve that plan.
But Dominic Easley is coming on as a defender. They've got to learn to play. What did Will Mester say? I said, you know, I didn't see much of Jelani Jenkins in the last game. He goes, I wouldn't want to play linebacker the way that defensive line protected my linebackers last week.
That's right.
We've got to learn to take on blocks first, then make the tackle, not the other way around. He thought they were running around too many blocks last week.
3rd and goal from the 5. And Spencer Ware is back in.
I'd like to go fade to Ruben Randall down here.
Jefferson.
That was pretty ugly. That wasn't even close to good timing on that. Yeah, good drive. Had a nice drive. That's what he said to Jordan Jefferson. Threw a nice ball there to get it going. But at the end, they were nowhere near on the same page for what Randall run and what Jefferson was dropped. They didn't match up.
And that will bring on Drew Allemont. I'm going to learn to
Sounds
say
like
that
you're ordering
correctly.
something to eat.
Listen, as a Scandinavian, it's not easy to do that, you know? Here's the field goal is good. Will Muschamp is trying to find some kind of spark for his team to get them back in this. So far, nothing. To the contrary, better for Les Miles. 27-3 here, LSU in command. Following our postgame show on CBS, Gary Danielson discusses today's game and answers your college football questions live from the SEC on CBS Cruiser. Watch the 5th quarter at cbssports.com/Gary. I think David Moulton deserves a shout out, don't you?
Sure does. But I think on the bus, your picture's the best of the three, though.
You know, in a long career in this business, I don't think anyone's ever said
Is that right?
in my picture.
First string bus.
Yeah, first string bus. I must say this. It updates the Madden cruiser. It's pretty darn good.
Here we go.
Andre DeBose caught from behind. And now Red Lobster presents today's Scholar Athlete. It's Eric Reed of LSU wearing #1, major in business administration. The 2010 Watkins Award as a high school senior for the nation's top African-American Scholar Athlete. Red Lobster's commitment to the investment of our future is shown today by donating $1,000 to LSU's General Scholarship Fund.
Yeah, I'm sitting up here thinking about this LSU team. I haven't even talked about their great defensive line: Adams, Brocker, Logan, Montgomery, Anthony Johnson. And there's really not a weakness on this defense for LSU.
That was Chris Rainey, and that was Brandon Taylor, shaken up in the first half, but back in there now.
Remember, Brandon Taylor was a corner shifted to safety. Remember that game against Alabama where he had to match up against Julio Jones for one play? I'm sure Brandon appreciates me bringing that one up again.
Trey Burton is in as the quarterback now. They give it left.
See another run blitz again, dialed by John Chavis, the defensive coordinator. He knows second down, they want to run that ISO game or draw game or draw read game, whatever they're doing. And Chavis goes, if you're doing it, you're going to do it against an 8-man front because I'm going to bring my corner from the side and slant away from it.
Well, Chavis opting to be in the press box as a defensive coordinator. And he's joined up there by Greg Studrawa, the offensive coordinator. It's very seldom you see both coordinators up in the box. Here's Burton going deep, and it's incomplete. It'll be 4th down.
Yeah, Jordan Reed slipped coming across. He would have been wide open, and they would have had an open target, but it forced the throw to the outside. Jordan Reed, the tight end, would have been wide open on the boots coming across. He's right here, I believe. Watch him come across and stumble. Because he stumbled, he never entered the vision of Burton on the play.
David Lerner on the punt. Matthew. It'll go out of bounds.
Out of bounds at the 18.
Late third quarter. Baton Rouge 27-3 Tigers. Just on the other side of the LSU coaching box, of the glass rather, the two coordinators, Greg Studrawa, the offensive coordinator, John Chavis, and on the right, Steve Cragthorpe. This was a summer of challenges for this LSU team, none more poignant than the story involving Steve Cragthorpe and his wife, Cindy, and we'll get back to that after this play. First down 10. Lamont has it. Jarrett Lee's back in there. Here's the handoff. And Alfred.
Now, McGee, isn't it? Yes.
It is Terrence McGee, number 14. Young man. Well, we mentioned a summer of challenges. Steve Cragthorpe was the head coach at Louisville. He was going to be a coach at A&M, and last summer his wife Cindy was diagnosed with MS, multiple sclerosis. He took the year off, named the offensive coordinator here for Les Miles, and in the middle of the summer he was diagnosed with Parkinson's disease at 46 years of age. So the Cragthorpe family dealing with very serious illnesses both for Cindy and for Steve. So he relinquished his duties as offensive coordinator and the line coach. He's now the quarterback coach. And he and Greg Studrawa, the offensive coordinator in Cragthorpe's place, work side by side up in the booth, and can only wish the family well. They've dealt with just terrible illnesses for both Cindy and for Steve.
Anytime you feel sorry for yourself, chew on that one for a while.
Yeah. His dad, Dave Cragthorpe, now in his late 70s, was a head coach at Oregon State.
Anybody got to stop there, didn't it?
No, they did on third down, I think.
Now that's the type of Florida defense we used to see when they were in those SEC championship games. It was almost impossible to run the ball against the Florida defense. They took on these running plays and just like that and stuffed it inside. Nice job by Sharif Floyd that time, 73, I thought.
That was McGee on the carry.
Very, very, very close. Not anymore.
No. That would be interpreted as a non-favorable spot.
I thought it was short all the way when they actually, as the play went on, I thought maybe they got a favorable one.
Here's Dan Quinn, the defensive coordinator, and Brad Wing. Remember that he had, out of a punt formation, a run for a touchdown, but he was flagged for taunting at the 10-yard line, and the touchdown was negated. That's the new rule involving taunting and excessive celebration in college football. First time that Gary and I have seen it enforced.
Yeah, we watch all the highlight shows. Surely they would have shown one of those. I don't recall one happening this year.
About 7 yards.
Let's take a look at it again. This is Brad Wing.
Remember, he punted once. There was a penalty. They were going to punt again. Nobody rushed him. He just took off and then stuck his arms out, celebrating, taunting, whatever you want to call it. And the way I call these is, would I have called it last year? And I think they would have thrown a flag last year. It would have been tacked on. But I think that was the right call. If you got a rule, you got to use it. The coaches wanted this rule.
First down 10. Here's Brissett back to throw. He's going deep left side, out of bounds. DuBose caught it, but this is going to come back.
Well, if he was
he might have been forced out.
Right.
You're right. Absolutely. Thank you for the quick assistance. He did go out of bounds, but he might have been forced out. Morris Claiborne, number 17. And there is a hat down.
68 yards.
Yeah, 68 yards if it stands.
Oh, yeah. There was no effort by DuBose to try to go out of bounds and avoid the jam. He was shoved out of bounds, and that's going to be a touchdown.
Indeed. 65-yard touchdown. Andre DuBose, who had a 65-yarder last Saturday night against Alabama.
Everything was good by Morris Claiborne that time until he stumbled. Once he stumbled, DuBose kept his feet going and ran under the football. Looked like the same play as the first play of the game against Alabama. And you see here, Florida's going to go for 2. Down 24, 3 8-point plays.
First catch of the day for DuBose, and a glimmer of hope now for Florida. They will go for 2. High snap. No, it's a fake. And Rainey plunges in.
I think Charlie Weiss brought that play from New England. You remember Brady does that? They snap it direct and they run it in.
Some guy named Favre used to do that too.
Yep.
Yeah. 2-point conversion. Rainey. Will Muschamp on the sidelines. Okay, something positive. Let's go, guys. Final 40 seconds, third quarter, 27-11. Florida down by 16. Don't forget, later in the game, the play of the game presented by Napa Auto Parts.
So Vern, Muschamp has been trying to manufacture different types of plays for his team. Might he try to catch LSU napping with an onside kick here? They're down 2 possessions.
Right.
Oh. Blows off again. You know these new tees they have. You know, remember the old tees had the little spikes behind?
Right.
Now they have these round ones. They don't work as good.
As you've learned about me here recently, I'm becoming more and more of a traditionalist, so I'm asking, why change?
I know. Well, this must less.
What was broken?
Less friction, I believe. I don't know.
Somebody's marketing idea. Gotta be. So they keep the ball in place, and here is the kick, and it's taken by Claiborne. And he runs into some difficulty at the 16-yard line. The Jets are in free fall. It's panic time for Gang Green, or is it? Former Jets quarterback Boomer Esiason goes to the man with all the answers as Rex Ryan preps for the arch-rival Patriots tomorrow on the NFL Today.
Well, I knew Florida would have intensity in the second half. They're stopping the run better. The one big pass play by Jordan Jefferson, but they look like they've showed up in the second half. Can LSU now find their game again? It's a two-possession game.
Now, LSU has been without much of a spark here in the second half. They do have a field goal, but here's Jarrett Lee back in. Sidearms it. Little crossing pattern underneath. Ruben Randall slips a tackle and bangs his way out across the 35 for a first down.
A little bit of a wake-up call for LSU. Remember, Alabama had the same type of a lull here. They say, okay, we're going to have to air it out a little bit, back you off the line of scrimmage, and Ruben Randall shows why he's one of the best wide receivers in this league.
And that's going to be the end of the third. So we'll change ends. 36, a short walk for both. That's the end of the third quarter with our score, 27-11. LSU will return to Tiger Stadium right after this word, your local station. Tiger Stadium, Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Home field for the LSU Tigers, and they are up over Florida. 41st meeting between these two, annual now, since 1971. And Florida has an edge in games played here in Baton Rouge, 16-13, but they trail in this one. First down 10, Vern Lundquist, Gary Danielson, Tracy Wolfson with the Tigers and the Gators. Quick screen out to the left side, Russell Shepard, and he is tackled and dropped at the 40-yard line. And a little bit of a glimmer of hope for Florida. Some positive things came out of that.
Absolutely. It was actually a different motion, but the same formation that he hit the touchdown pass against Alabama on the first play of the game. And DuBose again makes the play. And then going for two was really smart because it made it a two-possession game. Florida has come out here with the intensity that I knew Muschamp would demand in that locker room. There's no way. I met this guy a lot of times. That was a lot of talk in that locker room at halftime.
On second down, here's Jarrett Lee back. Goes deep left side. Ruben Randall has to wait a bit, but he's got it. And a foot race toward the end zone. He is out of bounds at the 3-yard line. 57 yards.
I'll tell you, Jarrett Lee showed why he is a winning, perhaps even national championship quarterback. He's going to go right down the sideline right here. Let's look at the big picture first. Going down the sideline, no safety help. Again, a slip on the outside by the corner that time. Perfect throw, but watch Jarrett Lee let this ball go just as he's getting rammed inside by Jay Howard. Can't throw him any prettier than that, Jarrett Lee.
And it's first down and goal, backs in the eye. Spencer Ware hit behind the line, gets maybe a half yard. And the Verizon Red Zone stats for LSU: 4 trips today, 2 touchdowns, and 2 field goals.
That was Dominic Easley again, number 2, that got into the backfield. He is really tough to block.
Okay, second and goal. 3-yard line.
Easley out of Staten Island, New York. Up front with Jay Howard, Ronald Powell. Jordan Jefferson now in, replacing Jarrett Lee at the quarterback spot. Alfred Blue is the running back.
And they run a lot of quarterback ISOs with him back there like this. There it is.
Bostic got up high, and Dominic Easley was down low. Third down. Dan Quinn, defensive coordinator. Michael Taylor, number 51, was the linebacker you just saw. Now Jordan Jefferson on now, reinstated by his head coach last week, and did play in the win over Kentucky here. Came in and scored on his first play of offense. The jump pass. How about that? Oh my gosh. Where have you gone, Tim Tebow? Mitch Joseph. Oh my gosh.
Beautifully designed play.
Tebow, of course, at Florida was like 7 for 7 throwing that jump pass, and Jordan Jefferson executed it beautifully as Mitch Joseph, the senior tight end, had the touchdown grab. Oh, that might be worth another look.
Yeah, you ran the ISO from the quarterback position on one time, and then just like Tebow in the past, these linebackers right here have to play it honest. It opens up the tight end right behind him. Watch this. Linebacker has to play it honest. Delay for a second. Bang. You've got the play. Might as well use the play. You saw it work the other way for years past. Why not copy it?
And now it's time for our Geico game recap.
Florida Gators came into town with walking wounded. John Brantley, the quarterback, on crutches with an ankle injury. Jeff Driscoll, who took his place last week, unable to go because of an ankle injury. And then Jarrett Lee compounded the Gator problems by going upstairs. On the first possession, he hit Ruben Randall for a touchdown. Spencer Ware then got in from 2 yards out. That was his first touchdown. And a field goal made it 24-0. And at halftime, Caleb Sturgis, just before the half, kicked this field goal to make it 24-3. Andre DeBose just scored a 65-yard touchdown reception. And then there was a converted two-point conversion, made it 27-11. And a moment ago, the jump pass from Jefferson to Mitch Joseph, extra point good. And that's where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, 34-11. Another problem with the tee. Let's try it again. Well, little. Les Miles got the attention of one of the officials.
Good, he got him laughing, didn't he?
And the kick. Chris Rainey.
Flag on the play. I wonder if Florida has 12 men on the field because the flag went right away from the back judge. I didn't count it out, but that was a really quick throw. Or maybe LSU had 12. Do you have to count the guy that's holding the ball?
Illegal formation on the kicking team. Only 3 men on one side of the kicker. 5-yard penalty. Replay the kick.
When they moved one of the guys to hold the ball, since he lined up and held it on the other side, they only had 3 players on one side of the kicker. You got to have 4. Safety rule. A rule for safety reasons.
5 yards.
And so we'll re-kick.
On the kickoff.
James Hairston is the young fella who is the 3rd kickoff man that LSU has used this year. They previously had Drew Alemont. See, I'm getting that down. And DJ Howard. And neither could really reach the end zone. So Hairston came on. 4 touchbacks. In the last 2
Alabama
games.
could use to find a guy like that, to tell you the truth.
Yeah.
If you're a kickoff guy and want to go to a big college, I think Nick will give you a scholarship, but I think he can get you on campus.
You can begin a preferred walk-on.
Yes,
okay?
I think so.
Yeah.
You only get yelled at on Thursdays. And they practice the kickoffs. You get to go to all the games.
Here's the kick from Hairston.
Strong again.
Yeah, very good. Rainey at the 1. Rainey at the 20. And all the way out to the 38-yard line is Chris Rainey. Flag is down. Monday, the only thing these 2 girls have in common, they're broke. 2 broke girls. Right after How I Met Your Mother, only CBS.
Personal foul. 89 of the kicking team. 15-yard penalty for the end of the run. First down.
That's LeVar Edwards, a backup tight end on the special teams, who was flagged.
Penalized 15 yards. Dead ball. Personal foul.
12:13 to go in this ball game. Take a look at the left side of the screen.
Kind of takes a shot right there. The ball was dead.
15-yard penalty. Ball.
Boys will be boys, maybe, but
Tiger, 47.
It was not egregious.
no. We're gonna go with that for a couple weeks.
Yeah, we will. You might hear that word. Brissett goes deep right side for DeBose. There's Tyrann Mathieu back, and he got it. Of course.
I'll tell you. I equated it. I haven't seen a defensive guy make this many plays. And Dominican Sue made it a couple of years ago for Nebraska. Of course, Charles Woodson. Let's peek back to see where DeBose is. And once he gets his hands on the ball, it's his. Not many defensive players, especially defensive backs, have that type of ball skills like Tyrann does.
6 tackles and an interception for Tyrann Mathieu in this ball game. The Home Depot SEC on CBS is sponsored by Coca-Cola Zero. The new 2011 Jeep Grand Cherokee. DirecTV. And by Chick-fil-A. Welcome back to Tigers Stadium on a Saturday afternoon. The national champions in 58, 2007, 2003. Aerial coverage of the SEC on CBS Sports provided by Southwest Airlines. Tyrann Mathieu in high school, 5'8", 160 pounds. He's
still 5'8".
Yeah, he claims 5'9" and a half.
Oh, really?
And that extra half inch, obviously meaningful to him, but 5'8", I think you're right. Where?
Well, he's impressive, isn't he?
Oh, boy. That's going to put him over 100 for the ball game.
Last year, Stephen Ridley used to make runs like this. Now Ware is showing the type of tailback. You know, Trent Richardson is this type of tail. Holy cow, you're right through that tackle. Nick Saban told Will Muschamp after the game, number 3 helped us win this game, Trent Richardson. That's the type of runner Richardson is too. Now, Ware's not in his class, obviously, but that's the type of power that you need, I believe, to run down in, game out, every time when you want to run the ball in this league.
Well, we got a moment. Let's check in with Tim Brando in New York.
All right, Vern, Gary, Taj Boyd has been an outstanding quarterback all year for Clemson. Today he had a touchdown pass and this rushing touchdown. 15 touchdown passes and only 2 picks for the year. Clemson now 6-0. They get Maryland next week. They sit atop the ACC Atlantic along with Wake Forest. Boyd did injure his hip. More details later after the game.
All right, Tim, thank you. That's one of the good stories this year in college football, Clemson.
I'll tell you what, they've got 2 games at the end of the year, though. Georgia Tech is going to give them all they want at the end of the year, at Georgia Tech and then at South Carolina. That'll be their 2 big games, I think.
And off. Whoa. Matt Elam to Spencer Ware. Well, we're going to revisit the taunting call. This was Brad Wing. Now, in response to a pool reporter's question from the press box here, Steve Shaw, the supervisor of officials in the SEC, issued this statement. Based on what was seen on replays, the LSU player turned toward 2 Florida players and made a taunting gesture. The rule as stated in the rule book was accurately applied.
I agree with that.
Okay.
Not that I like it, but that's the rule.
There you go. Yeah, out of the backfield.
Nice play.
Sure was.
Nice play.
Michael Taylor, number 51. Somebody thought there might have been the horse collar tackle involved.
No, I don't think so.
Oh, cut that out.
Yeah, even if it was, and I think you're right there, it's the way Spencer Ware turned on the play. Well, you know, I'm not even sure. I don't really know. When an offensive player turns and almost initiates it, that could have been a horse collar, I guess. Have to check the rules on that one. He really wasn't behind him when he started it. Blocked it.
Whoa. Rainey moves up. Gathers it in and is down immediately at the 42-yard line.
Solomon Patton, number 83, I think is the guy who got his hand on it.
Deflected the punt. He had a block earlier this year that was returned for a touchdown by Chris Rainey. So Solomon Patton comes through, gets a hand on it. 9:21 to go in the ball game. 34-11. .921 to go in this ball game. LSU in command here. 34-11. Stay tuned for the Jeep post-game show on CBS Sports. We'll go back with Tim Spencer and Archie Manning. First down 10. Brissett sacked. Sam Montgomery, number 99.
Sam Montgomery, number 99.
Young man from Greenwood, South Carolina, where he played basketball up until his junior year in high school. And among those, he hurt his arm.
Second down, 15.
He competed in basketball with a pretty good wide receiver for South Carolina named Alshon Jeffrey.
Played against John Wall, too, didn't he?
Yes, he did. On a club team.
All right.
Second down. And that was Chris Rainey. Rainey for the day, modest yards. Just over 50.
Well, if you're Alabama now, are you going to get back Driscoll next week? You're not going to get back Brantley. Jacoby Brissett, they play Auburn next week for Florida. Excuse me. Florida next week plays Auburn. They got to start working right now on next week.
Brissett, he's got Jordan Reed open, but he has to wait on it. And that allows Brandon Taylor time to catch up and knock it loose.
Again, one of the values of having converted corners at safety is they're comfortable with the ball in the air. And you saw Brandon Taylor right there. Never panicked on the play, had the tight end, saw the ball, and then played the ball at the highest point.
On fourth down, David Lerner is on to punt. And the wide receiver Odell Beckham is back.
No return.
Down at the 25-yard line.
25-yard line. First down for the Tigers.
37-yard punt. Brandon Taylor now working as the strong safety back on the tight end. Knocks it away relatively easily. Time call. (34-11) LSU in command here at Tiger Stadium. Now time for the play of the game presented by Napa Auto Parts. And for the call, here's Jim Hawthorne of the LSU Radio Network.
Jefferson in the shotgun. There's the snap. He's going to try to a jump pass, and it is caught for a touchdown. How about that? Mitch Joseph. Jefferson took 2 steps towards the line of scrimmage, jumped up and flipped it into the end zone to Mitch Joseph, and the Tigers do score the touchdown.
That one ensured the what seems to be a victory, barring a miracle. And the celebration has begun here at LSU, and I promise will continue well into the night. Jared Lee back in at quarterback. This is Alfred Blue, number 4. We've not seen much of Michael Ford today. Listed as the backup. And look at the J.C. Copeland, the fullback. And we're talking about 280 pounds. That's a lead blocker.
That's a lead blocker.
On the slot. 2nd down, 6. 28-yard line.
Copeland was a walk-on to this program, and he tried out for defensive tackle. Now he's playing fullback. Couldn't get to touch the ball.
Lee. Cadron Boone, number 86. That's another LSU first down. Cadron Boone's 5th catch of the year. Ironically, he played for John Brantley's dad at Trinity Catholic in Ocala.
Boy, Jared Lee, it's just fun to watch a kid grow up, isn't it?
Yes.
I mean, you know, I say it many, many times. It's better to play 2 years too late than 1 game too early. Jared Lee took a lot of grief for his 1 year too early.
Well, we spent a lot of time talking with him in one-on-ones during that year, and then we hadn't seen him until yesterday.
Grown up. He's grown up.
And he really has become
you can
quite
tell
a young man.
How different he looks. You know what I was thinking when I was looking at him? I wonder how different I must look. I wonder if he's saying the same thing when he goes back.
You don't want me to answer that? Not at all. Here's Tim Brendo.
Harry, Vern, Matt McGloin is going to find Kevin Hapley here for a 2-yard touchdown. That gave Penn State a 13-3 lead. They go on to handle Iowa, the final 13-3. Penn State is 5-1. Their only loss to Alabama. They play Purdue next week, Gary. I'm wondering if 5-1 is a bit of a mirage given how weak the Big Ten looks. Back to you.
Well, I don't.
That was a heavy sign.
It's been ugly. I got to say, the Big Ten has had some rough ones, but 5-1's 5-1, I guess.
Well, Purdue with a big win today.
I think they end their season at Wisconsin. I think Penn State does.
That's Ware bouncing off the tackle at the line of scrimmage. Well, Tigers will win this one 34-11. We're under 6 to play. Next week they go to Knoxville, and we'll be with them for that one. 3:30 Eastern time next Saturday afternoon. They've got Auburn here. Auburn with the big game tonight, then the open date, and then that November 5th game might attract a little bit of attention.
Yeah, there's plenty there in front of them, right? I mean, you know, next week they're going to get a very gifted passer,
Tyler Bray. Right.
And, you know, Auburn is going to move the ball against almost anybody. They routed them last year. Of course, they had a different quarterback.
True.
Still a lot of hitting going on in this football game. Got to give Florida a lot of credit. They haven't backed up an inch. Their coach demanded it. They've got Auburn next week, as I tried to say earlier. And I think that, you know, that's the one. They get back against Auburn. Then they start to feel good about themselves. They get an off week, and then that Georgia game, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, it's a muddied picture in the SEC East right now. South Carolina did win big today over Kentucky. Georgia, Tennessee tonight.
Right. I asked Greg Studrala offensive coordinator, if you're ever tempted to put a quarter, a period in your practice where you practice for Alabama.
Right.
I mean, that's the old tradition at Michigan, Ohio State, when they used to have that one game, you practice, and he goes, practicing against this Florida defense, it's a mirror image of the Alabama defense, so we get a whole week of practice for it.
That's the Saban influence on Will Muschamp. Will, who was the defensive coordinator at Valdosta State when he met Saban at the Peach Bowl, and then
same style, different players, though.
Right.
It's a big little asterisk there.
Alfred Blue. That's a first down inside the 30. Well, I asked Gary earlier in the first half to compare Alabama, LSU defensively.
The ranks really don't interest me that much because of the different teams they've played. But you don't have to really look at the numbers. We put them up there for your viewing pleasure. But when you study the tape, you can just see the plays jump off the screen. They're a little different style. LSU's defense is a little faster, especially in their front four. The Alabama defense is a little stouter. The linebackers are bigger. They take on blocks better. They should match up well against the LSU running game.
Here's the toss back to Blue, and Blue breaks the tackle. Still upright. He's got a first and goal inside the 10 at the 8-yard line.
I tell you, no matter who they put in the game, they keep blocking. This time they wrap around by Josh Williford, number 74, and they follow number 74 and James Stampley, number 35. That's two good guys to follow. Get back in the secondary, and you don't go down. A lot of competition. I think you keep running a tailback when there's 4 of them.
And all 4 have played today. Michael Ford, not that much. Here's Blue. He goes right. He's working on a 65-yard afternoon. Michael Taylor, number 51, made the tackle.
How about that? This is old-time football here.
Yeah.
14 passes for LSU today, but they got 400 and almost 50 yards of offense.
Jordan Jefferson comes in. James Wright as well.
They're going to have to take a timeout.
Yep. .2:13 remaining in this one. Timeout. Tigers. SEC on CBS next Saturday afternoon. LSU will move on to Knoxville, and we'll go with them. The Tigers and the Volunteers, and it all begins with Autotrader.com. College football today, back in our New York studio. The SEC on CBS, second down and goal at the 5.
I think that is a game between Florida and Auburn. Both teams really need it to finish off their season where they want. They both have that game circled. They got to win it.
Blue splits off wide to the right. J.C. Copeland is in the backfield. Here's Jefferson. It'll be third down. Josh Shaw with the tackle.
You know, when you lose your job, no matter what the reason is, and let's be honest here, if Jordan Jefferson would have got back and Jarrett Lee had not played well, they would have reinstituted Jefferson as the starter.
Right.
So somebody, you left an opening. It's the way sports goes. Somebody goes in there, takes it, does well enough, and now you're fighting for snaps. Right now you're showing the coaches, I want it to be a 2-quarterback system. Everybody hates a 2-quarterback system, but the backup quarterback.
Third and goal. Touchdown, LSU, Alfred Blue.
And that was the points in comparison from Alabama, when you're playing this ratings game, you know, probably doesn't mean that much different to these two teams because they're going to face each other. If either one of them goes undefeated, obviously they're going to be in the championship. But you want to show Alabama and the rest of the country that we can score as many as you did, and they've scored more today.
Extra point up and through. They have indeed. It was 38-10 last Saturday night, 41-11. So each team convincing in victory in different ways. LSU will win it to stay 6-0 for the year. Convincing victory for the Tigers of LSU, 6-0 for the year. And for the Florida Gators, they go down to defeat for the second consecutive week. Auburn next for them. Without John Brantley. Will Muschamp telling us that. And don't know about Driscoll next week. Jacoby Brissett got the start here, 8 of 14 for 94 yards, well managed, and Burton almost split the number of snaps behind center.
Well, I thought there were two possibilities, not likely, but possibilities for Florida if they were going to make this a game. One, they were going to have to get some help, LSU turnovers. No turnovers in the game. Number two, they were going to have to stop the run game. LSU has run for 238 yards in the game, and that's on top of last week when Alabama ran for 226.
I think you're suggesting that Will Muschamp is still not going to be very pleased.
Have to. And Auburn's going to run on them too.
Yeah.
If they don't stop the run, they're going to get routed again.
This one will be taken at the 6. It's Andre DeVos. Back to the 27-yard line. Well, Spencer Ware, number 11, 24 carries, 109 yards, 2 touchdowns. And he is our player of the game. Ware in his first year as a starter, wearing number 11. And he really had an outstanding effort this afternoon. Boy, he's got some power after contact. Yeah. Yes. First down 10. Cross right. Mike Gillisley up to the 42. Eric Reed with the tackle. Well, we're halfway through this 2011 season. LSU leading and will win here. Alabama plays Vandy at home tonight. Oklahoma routed Texas today. Wisconsin with an open date. Boise State. Oh, look at Oklahoma State.
You know, I don't know what I was amazed by more last night. The 1-0 St. Louis win or the 50-0 score at the end of third quarter by Boise State against Fresno State.
Hunter Joyer with the carry.
That's a Fresno State team. Now, who did they play? They came within 10 of Ole Miss. And Boise State put 50 at Fresno State after 3 quarters.
Did you stay with it? Did you turn it off?
Yeah, I'm a football guy.
Did you really?
Yeah, I'm a football guy.
All the way to the finish?
No. What?
My gosh.
You're lucky I stayed for this one.
Jacoby Brissett is back in at quarterback. There's Gillisley going left. Jeff Demps unable to go today. Played a couple downs. First quarter, that was it. And this one is in the bank.
Bryant made the tackle.
Will Muschamp, who spent 4 years here on Nick Saban's staff, brings his own team in, and they are outmanned by that guy's squad. Les Miles.
We're welcome. We're welcome.
41-11. LSU jumped out to a quick 14-0 lead, and we're never, ever, ever in danger. For Gary Danielson and Tracy Wolfson, I'm Vern Lundquist saying so long from Baton Rouge. Our final 41-11. The Jeep postgame show is next. After these messages and this word from your local station, we will see you in Knoxville a week from today.